Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today we are going to have a look at the Radium rifle. So a while back I rolled a bunch of Radium rifles just for fun, and this is the best one I got. It's actually quite good. Anti-armor, faster fire rate, reduced AP cost. That's a very good roll. And after rolling this, it basically has been collecting dust, maybe a couple of months I think. So it's time to give it a try, I think. Now in the past, Radium rifles were kind of challenging to use, and the main reason was it was bugged, and it was very difficult to learn the mods that you wanted without scrapping thousands of Radium rifles. That has been fixed, and it's no longer the case. So now that we can actually learn mods very easily, or at least as easily as, say, a handmade or a combat rifle, it's time to find out if it's actually worth the trouble. Now, by the numbers, the Radium rifle does less damage than a fixer or a handmade, and I'm not really concerned with the actual numbers. I want to know if it actually feels like it's weaker or if it feels like a solid weapon. The one number on here that actually would concern me is the accuracy. It is only 61. If you compare that to a handmade has accuracy of 80, and a fixer has an accuracy of 69. So if you're missing a lot of shots, obviously it doesn't matter what the damage numbers are. If it doesn't hit, it does 0. Now this character is a critical build, so I will be using a tweaked automatic receiver for extra critical hit damage. Then we have an aligned long barrel forceful stock, swift magazine for quicker reloads, and a reflex sight and a suppressor because we will be doing sneak attacks. Just a quick look at the build. This is a commando character, and I do rely on critical hits. So I have all the commando perks maxed out along with tank killer. For extra damage, I have tenderizer, little bit of adrenaline, covert operative for extra damage with sneak attacks. I also have better criticals, critical savvy, and bloody mess. And I also have follow through maxed out. All right, let's see about that accuracy. Now, super mutants have, okay, he went down all right, really quick. I mean, super mutant heads are already a small hit chance. For some reason, they're very big and they have, oh wow, okay. So far, it feels, I don't know, it feels like any other rifle. And when I say any other rifle, I mean a handmade or a fixer. But, okay. Yeah, and it actually doesn't feel any different, actually. I mean, this does have the feel of, say, a combat rifle or a fixer. It kind of has that same kind of bouncy feeling, the same amount of recoil as you'd get with one of those. But in terms of damage, no. I mean, I wouldn't know that I was using... I mean, this sounds a little different. It has a kind of a cool sound, which I like. But in terms of damage, in terms of how quickly enemies die, I'm not really, I'm not really noticing. This doesn't feel like a weak weapon at all. And frankly, it is fun to use something that's just different. I mean, this character does have a good fixer, does have a good handmade, and those are the weapons I typically use. But it's fun to have another option, you know, something that actually does a lot of damage. I mean, typically what happens is when you get another option for a weapon, you end up with something that you think, oh, I'd use this. It's kind of fun and different. But I wouldn't use it as my main weapon. But so far... Okay, I'm in caution from something. I think there's a mutant hound somewhere loose. I think that's what's going on. Okay, well, I got damage numbers, and I've been seeing that a lot lately, actually. Where I'm getting damage numbers, and I'm connecting with the target, and they're taking no damage. But when things aren't bugging out, this... Yeah, so far, this is really... I like this gun a lot so far. And we have the standard easy kill that makes us feel super powerful. Now, one thing about a weapon like this versus something... I mean, I really like pipe guns, but the thing about pipe guns is they don't really have usable reflex sights, and this one does. It actually has usable reflex sights. The problem, and this is basically works the same as a combat rifle in terms of manual aiming. It's just kind of bouncy. Definitely not as easy to... Let's see, that's probably going to explode. Yep. It's not as easy to manual aim as a handmade. To me, it feels very comparable to a combat rifle or a fixer, and I think the Radium rifle actually is kind of a version of a combat rifle, so it makes sense that it would actually feel the same. But so far, this seems to handle anything we can throw at it, so let's try something tougher. Okay, it's only level 75. Let's see, that is not a head. There we go. That seemed to be a little bug there, where they weren't actually taking, they were getting damage numbers, I was connecting, but they weren't actually taking damage. Like I said, I have been seeing that a lot, so hopefully that is, there we go. Mirelurk's not exactly a tough test, but a Deep King, level 60. Not really that tough of a test. Everything goes down nice and easily. Let's try our hands at a Mirelurk Queen. There she goes. She is level 100. All right. Let's see how this goes. And as far as the accuracy, I'm actually not really noticing it. I mean, it feels... I mean, honestly, this gun, if it wasn't for the sound, if I was just blindfolded, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know that this wasn't a handmade or a fixer, really. It does great against everything, at least so far. All right, let's see what happens when I try and shoot a dragon. Since we seem to do well against everything else. Hello. All right, that went, okay. That went very easily. And of course, a regular Scorched is not going to be a problem at all. Well, so far, this has performed like a champ. So let's see how we do against a big giant mutant. Not sure why I can't hear his roar when he comes out of the ground. Probably something in my settings. Yeah, that was, oh, and a challenge. Well, I'd say this weapon is very drama-free. It performs just as well, at least it feels like it does. It performs just as well as anything else. So if you got a good roll on one of these, I would have no issue using this as a main weapon. In fact, I may end up using this as my main weapon. It's as good as anything I've got already. And the fact that we can actually learn mods from this very easily makes this a very appealing gun. I really like it. I like how it feels. I like how it looks. It looks different. I like how it sounds. It's definitely something that gets the job done. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit one of the buttons down below. And I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.